Hello and welcome to another replay analysis. It's going to be 7.27c. This game is actually something that I found online. It's going to be TJ here. Apparently this is a position 5, and he pretty much spammed Undying till unranked Immortal. So that's pretty, that's a feat in and of itself, just because of the fact that I feel like position 5 is very difficult to rank. I'm actually learning to offlane myself because of the fact that I'm just sick of, trying to support people that really don't know how to core. Nonetheless, Undying is definitely one of those strong, potential strong position 5s. It's definitely within the meta. But he's kind of by himself, whereas Slark just snuck in the other one. So, again, if you're new to my stream or my YouTube, notice that for the first 10-15 minutes, I'm going to watch the perspective of the player. Obviously, I was going to say submitter, but in this case, he didn't actually submit it. And this is something that I really want to look at myself because of the fact that I do really like the potential of playing position 5. I feel like, and I've done it, and I think I'm like 50-50 with him. I feel like he's a strong laner, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, there's definitely things that I'm doing wrong. Stun right here. He's going to kind of, and he's kind of solo zoning out everybody else. He's got that decay. He's got 12 stacks already. He's definitely making his presence known throughout, and that Darkseer could potentially be an issue. Like, I feel like he's not the greatest of laners, going up against, right? Because if you place the tombstone, he can just surge your guy on out or whatever, so potentially I could see him being a counter to you. And mind you, you have 6 tangos. That's pretty legit. Sometimes I go win-lace, but I think that you're solving an issue that I had, and starting item's very, very important, of course. I usually went 2 sets of two sets of tangos, pull 2. I get 2 more mangoes, and I think win-lace. I think that's a perfect starting mount. But nice pull through here. You're level 2 already, and you're just gonna pop those mangoes whenever you want to fight. Whenever somebody's near. Obviously, your decay stacks have all kind of ticked away, and the CK's like, okay, I'm a man now because I don't have any of those decay stacks on me. So you're just going to look to trade here, and you're going to look to just kind of contest at least this pull. Decay being used, that's fine. And one thing to counter and to help out the non-Undying players is probably get an early stick, because this guy is going to just spam spells like nobody's business. Not to the levels of Bristle, but definitely almost at will, especially since he's got six mangoes to go with. Oh, you missed the last hit. Oh, you got it back. That Darkseer was a little bit slow. And again, we're just going to follow your lane. I understand that kills are happening all throughout, but we just want to see what you're doing well. If you don't care about the other lanes, then why should we, right? Nonetheless, you've got 474. I'm pretty sure you're going to probably go brown boots next. I feel like just his, added mobility and the fact that, you have 6.5 health regen, so. And mana issues can be solved, of course, by all of those mangoes. Are you going to look to pull? Interestingly enough, you're looking to just kind of deny there, and then now you're going back. Okay, interesting. Why would you select you don't have to go all the way to the Amazon warehouse to end up making your purchases, so to speak. You can do it online from where you are. But probably just a little bit of a misclick there. But you've actually blocked the stack, which is nice, because they're going to look to consistently pull that. But the thing is that you actually haven't pulled it back. Darkseer here, because I feel like you need to start pulling it back because of the fact that this Darkseer is going to zone it out. Obviously, CK is kind of a strong laner in and of itself, but you don't want to let it go under tower. That's fine. Gotta be careful about your chick, which is a little slow. You got your brown boots. Great. Good game awareness. You saw that the CK was coming through, and you hid your courier. Awesome stuff there. And now you've got brown boots, so you can respect it. Yeah, he's got the horse, but you got brown boots. You're probably the shoe on the left foot, which makes you faster. And now you're going to just zone out. You've got 12 decay stacks. So, yeah, you are... Ooh, you got pulled back. And, yeah, you're just going to kind of just shrug this all off. That's fine. He's going to, go on you, waste all that mana on you as opposed to the Slark. So, all good. You've got 7.28 health regen. So... Oh, it just kind of ticked away right there. So, now you're just at, a paltry 6.4, 6.8. Yeah, you got to build that up a little bit. But the Iron Shell, the CK... been pulled back, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Oh, you got 1 mango. You're about half life. You do need to respect that, and you need to back up here. Nice decay there. Through the trees, kind of hidden, and I think you might have hit both of them. Or at least that's what you're trying to do. But CK here just kind of moving through. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I like it how you're moving through, looking to get at least the rune. You've drawn out the path to the CK, probably how he's going to rotate mid. A nice pounce there, and that's the surge that we were talking about. But oh, with a nice soul rip there, and that will secure that kill. Nice pounce into combination. Just knowing that you were nearby, and obviously every single right click is doing a lot of damage, especially now. But yeah, you guys are kind of balling right now. I mean, 6-0. 5 minutes though, and you're not at the bounty rune. Oh, now you realize it because it went dark. You're like, oh shit, my nightlight went on. Now it's time. But you're gonna secure at least one rune. And man, your team is balling already. So maybe not the best of lanes, but nonetheless, like going up against a CK and Darkseer is still not easy, right? Generally speaking, the Darkseer I think is also very meta right now. Oh, the stun! Where was the stun? By the CK. Slow hands. Was that on cooldown? What was he doing? Oh no, he just totally botched that. Oh, he had the mana for it. Darkseer obviously gave him vision. And that ZK, like, he reality rifts you, he cast bolts you, and pretty much that's going to secure that kill, because you don't really have any sort of outs. Which, to be honest, is actually the weakest part about the Undying. Because, like, you're a great team fighter. Obviously, Tombstone creates a lot of havoc. The decay and all that, Soul Rip just heals and stuff like that. But you don't really have an escape. You don't have a stun. And trying to get away from like a CK that can potentially, you know, Chaos Bolt you or even Reality Rift you. Ooh, the Slark. You got to save him. Oh, nice heal there. Soul Rip paying off. I mean, especially with all of those enemies there. Oh, but they get the easy Tombstone. That was a little bit of a misplay, I think. Giving up 100 gold like that, never really good. And that's actually the hardest part about Undying is the placement and when you actually place that Tombstone, right? Giving up 100 gold is no... It's definitely pretty huge, especially at this stage. But man, you are just stocking up on mangoes. I like it. I like it. I mean, you didn't even go stick because you realized that like these guys aren't really heavy spell spammers. I don't even think that's a real term, but I just made that up. So you've got your clarity ticking up here. Got some tango, sorry, not tangos. You got some wards, and the map is a little bit dark. Obviously, your timber is just kind of exerting dominance in the bottom lane and completely cutting it off. But yeah, with the Ion Shell here, you got to steal as many last hits as you can. Hopefully your Stark can kind of time these properly. Pounce here, but he is taking a little bit of damage. Soul Rip is going to keep him up a little bit. You're going to trade, and the Surge will just kind of scurry him away. He should be fine. And you do have a Sentry if you want to place it. Not sure if you saw something. Oh, but I don't know if you saw that, but there's Clinks. It might be a replay bug, right? But he's actually in your jungle. Something you need to take note of, especially as that chick goes back. I'm worried for... Ooh, the heal. The decay. You don't really have... Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have a mana on him. Like, no way. This guy's got, like, 8 mangoes. And it's funny that you're actually just stockpiling mangoes. You're not going Arcane Boots. Or even Tranquils at that, man. So, I mean, okay. You're solving 2 big issues that he has. Mana issues, with the potential of the fact that you can just kind of mango up at any moment. The second piece, of course, is that if you did go Arcane Boots, then you don't really have the health regen. So you're kind of just solving both of those with consumables. And as a position 5, I'm okay with this. Because of the fact that, like, you don't really need items. You're not like the mid lane where you've got to get those items to kind of... items of substance as opposed to just consumables. So I do like that. You're going Windlace for a little bit more mobility, just kind of moving through, and you've kind of won this. Hang on, let's look at the nice pounce there. He's trying to surge away, but he actually used it a little too early. But man, that surge takes forever. Net worth coming, and you don't care. You're just kind of running after him. This is what zombies do. Brainless, just moving after the guy. Nice decay there. The heal, and he's got to actually surge away, and you've completely scared him away into his jungle. So this is perfect in terms of your play, position 5, obviously creating a lot of space for your Slug to just, you know what I mean, like he's just going to farm like crazy. And the CK's come, and he's like, oh, okay, all right. And the CK's got to respect that, realizing that he's a little outnumbered here, and he's going to back off. And man, this is the way to go, I guess. 8 mangoes. 9 minutes. I might actually try a game right after this, just kind of like trying this build myself, because I think that what you've done with this simple mango plantation that you've created in your own backpack is that basically you've... Wow, okay, so he's looking to actually fight the level 7 Slark at the Decay one more time. You do have a Soul Rip if you want to go. The wall has actually been used, and yeah, the Soul Rip will keep him up for at least for now. He's going to pounce away, and the Sun Ray is there. He's got to navigate this Great Wall of China. And actually, he's going to go the long way, make sure that he doesn't, like, replicate it. But that's good. Okay. But yeah, back to the fact that you've got all these mangoes, the heals, the mana, everything, right? The only thing, of course, is the fact that you actually haven't been pulling as much. You've just been focused 100% on the lane. So maybe that's a fault of mine, where I've been trying more pulling than anything else. Because I like to trade, and then when things are starting to kind of, when I run out of mana and I've got some like half HP or whatever, then I'll go back to pull and all that. So I think that your play obviously has worked, and I'm seeing it right now. I think that is actually might be the right way to go. So we'll give it a test for the sake of science. Mind you, you're level 5. This Darkseer actually should not even be in this lane. But yeah, that surge is really late. There's no way that was going to happen. And here comes the Treant, Nature's Grasp. Slark should be able to just kind of get out of there. He should be fine. But yeah, Slark, his itemization, he's got treads. He's got a, what was it, a crown? Just kind of do free camming it now. He's got drums already. Awesome, at 11 minutes. That's actually pretty fast. Darkseer doesn't have a wall or anything. And if you're looking at net worth, man, he's level top 5. He's the 5th, that is. But I feel like if he's lost the lane so badly, and Darkseer maybe something, another hero that we'll explore in another replay. But if you're having a somewhat of a rough game, I would look to just Iron Shell and just start jungling. Like, he can go back and he can get back into this game by that. And this Clink's out of mana, out of life. So he's just going to fall down. And man, what is this CK doing? Like, I feel like this is a... Like, I've tried CK support, and don't get me wrong, you think that he's got the kit to kind of play support. I mean, he's got a stun, he's got the reality rift, the pullback, so to speak. But I just feel like he's really lacking. Like, he doesn't zone. He's not that much of a bully. At the end of the day, I feel like he really needs some sort of items. And, I mean, this is a master tier CK, and I feel like his impact has been next to nil. Look at it. He's, like, next to second lowest. I mean, props to you because of the fact that you're lowest, you've sacrificed everything, and you've bought nothing but consumables. So your net worth is actually a lot lower than it should be, or it seems to be that way. And, wow, this Void Spirit literally just let you walk back. He had a haste. And he's actually not going to go because he realizes that the Phoenix and the Timber are very, very close. Timber has Arcane Boots Kaya. He's had pretty much a good game already. And the Sun Ray is going to heal, and it's going to burn it up. The Chakram, and that's going to be a dead CK. And yeah, this is not looking good. Again, mind you, this is I believe it's an Immortal Ancient game. Low Immortal, High Ancient. Or sorry, Divine, excuse me. But we'll check that one out in the end. It's Clink's just having a rough game. Soul Rip, not doing enough damage, but he does have a haste and he's going to run on out. This Seer, on the other hand, is getting very low. He doesn't really have anything to go, and he's going to vacuum. And he's going to actually waste the wall. The Void Spirit's going to come on through. You turn in the Flesh Golem, and you're going to blow up as a position 5. Don't really have the tanking or the item, so to speak. Oh my gosh, that Timber Chain. It was like a step ahead. Kind of messed that one up, but he's a little low. He should be okay. Yeah, and he's going to back off. 9 reactive armor, that's enough to get him going. SF, on the other hand, has Yules, looking to get Meteor Hammer. Okay. I mean, if you're balling, I guess it helps with the push. Something that the team is kind of lacking. CK is 6, does have drums. He went brown boots into drums, right? Basically, this guy is saying, I don't really want to play support, but I'm going to pretend to be a support, but I'm actually going to pick this core hero. Generally, how many people do this, right? Like, this happens all the time. This is actually super painful. Because it's like, hey, dude, if you're going to play support, right? Get support items. Like, there's a reason why Force Glimmer are good support items, right? They'll save your team. And this is a greedy build. Like, how are you going to farm? Klinks needs farm. Void needs farm. Darkseer needs farm. Like, all of these guys want farm, and you're actually taking last hits away from your Darkseer. So shame on you, Big Randy's feed shop. I hope your shop closes down. Boom. Clinks here just super painful right now. It's going to go actually Helm, which I don't agree with. This is the type of build where I'm like, if you're going to do stuff like this, why would you pick Clinks? Like, Clinks is like that ganking type, right? Like, if you just want, like, I believe you picked this as a carry 1 of all things. I haven't really been checking out the other lanes, but I feel like this is really not the right itemization. He's trying to outthink things, and mind you, you don't care. Heaven or high hell, you're gonna go straight up mangoes at almost any moment of the game. Like, I feel like at this point, you're tanky enough, or sorry, you have enough mana, you have enough sustain pretty much. Why don't you just go like bracers, tank yourself up a little bit more? But hey, you got to Immortal through Undying, so obviously I'm doing things incorrectly. So we'll just continue this mango build. I will just try this in a game. Say, hey, Abjo. By the way, we're going to get to your game next. This isn't the longest of games, so... you got some smokes up. I like the fact that you're buying it, making sure that it's always on cooldown in the shop. Good stuff there. Good support. And this is the Treant, right? This is like the super greedy one. How many Treants do you know do this? Tranquils into Meteor Hammer, right? Alright, I don't want to talk about that guy. But to counter that, Shadow Fiends is going with his own Meteor Hammer. And you're making your way bottom. Phoenix is still up, is looking to get Atos. I think that's a fine item. A little bit more control. And you got your Arcane Boots. Good. That will solve all of your mana issues. HP regen, not really so much of an issue now. Like, I feel like this is one of those games where you're like, or you're one of those types of players that it's like, neutral item. Oh, if you get the mango tree, it's like, yes, happy day. That's like, you know, that's going to save me X amount of gold because I'm always going to have mangoes. But you do get other items, right? Other than the arcane boots. Like, unless I'm missing something. I feel like you really need other stuff. Like, generally speaking, for me, I probably would have gone Stick, Tranquils, Bracer, depending on how much burst they had. And then look to just kind of get, you know, Force Glimmer, depending on which. But again, I'm probably wrong. I can admit that because the fact that, you know, you're winning games. And to be honest, your team is kind of tanky enough where you don't really need to go all of those. Like, they don't really need the support because, like, the Timber's there, creating a lot of havoc. You got the Phoenix Egg. And you just, like, Slark has his own ways of just getting out. Reality Rift on the Timber. But he's got 10 reactive charges. And I don't think that's really the one you want to be going for. They found the Treant. He's going to die next to his other trees. Soul Rip right there. Glyph is being used. And this Timber Saw is just kind of getting out of control here. Rod of Atos catches him out. The Sunray, the Surge. And he's going to die right there. Nice Soul Rip there. And that's going to secure 2 kills. 3 for nothing, that is. And that's going to be an end of bottom T2 here. With a DDSF. Should make short work of this T2 tower. And the Slark is now here. Okay, he's got drums and he's got Diffusal. I like this, right? This is a pretty big peak. The fact that he got his items, like he had drums earlier, like I think 11 minutes or so. And the fact that he's got Diffusal now, it's like, all right, guys, we're already winning this game. How do we end this game faster? We group up and we just start taking towers. And they're already knocking the high ground. The Clink's not ready to fight. Does have the Dominator. Like, it really matters at this point, but like, I don't really know how they're going to deal with this Timber. I feel like the Timber is going to become the problem because they're kind of lacking the magic damage and the amount of control that they have. Like, Clinks is like, okay, we're going to go for the Timber. Nah, the Meteor Hammer does connect. The Sun is going to, the Egg, excuse me, is going to pop up in the background. Nobody's there. It's going to zone everybody out, and that's going to be a free T3. He's trying to out-heal it with the Tree and Heal, but the Meteor Hammer will actually make short work of that. And that's a lot of damage. I mean, this is the thing where SF is like, what is he not really good at? And that's taking objectives. And so this Meteor Hammer kind of solves all that. The Treant actually pops up his own Meteor Hammer, and they get the pounce up on this Clinks. And yeah, you don't need vision when you can just Timber Chain through the guy. And yeah, this Clinks is kind of a bit of a fail here. Where is he? Yeah, he's completely fallen off. Like, he had a rough lane. This Timbersaw pick was nice. Very, very good. like, it's like the perfect counter. Like, they don't really have enough magic damage to kind of deal with all this. And, like, Void is trying to create space going in the high ground. He's been pounced here, and he's trying to keep himself up. The Remnant will slow things down. He's going to Void away, and the Astral step forward, and he's going to TP on back, and he should be fine. But, yeah, Timbersaw, who's not great at taking objectives, but he's good at tanking stuff. And it's ever so slowly. It's very difficult to kind of just go through all of this, the treant healing with that armor and everything. It feels, it's like a bit of a race. Nature's Grasp here just to kind of slow down those creeps. Trying to attract attention, aggro them, of course. And just kind of keep yourself alive. Go for the Meteor Hammer. Okay, so that's how he's going to farm. The Atos doesn't actually stop the channeling of it. And Treant does need to be a bit careful. Oh, the Sun Ray, and he's going to actually out-heal this. The Void is coming through. He steps on forward, the Pulse on back. He tries to do as much damage as possible, but this Timber is getting a bit tanky. I mean, 13 reactive armor. He doesn't really have the other items. Like, this is the Bloodstone and everything like that. The BOT, so to speak. And he can get in and out. But in terms of other items, he's not the tankiest of guys. It just proves that their team is really lacking the magic damage. SF here does have Blink, Yules. He's got the combo and in haste. Slark did his job pretty much in the sense that they took the bottom rack, so he's going to go back in the jungle, farm up the next big item. And what is on the way? Just the Basher. Yeah, that's going to be quick. 21 minutes. You guys got the drums, which is like a mid-tier item, but the Diffusal there, plus the Basher. He's off to a pretty good start. And this Clinks is just having a rough time. He's going to probably have to Shadow Walk away, and he does have the Dust. They do see him, and Clinks thought, oh, I can be sneaky, but here is the thing. Whereas a Clinks, okay, your get out of jail free card is a Shadow Walk, right? You go invis. You need to click on this hero, and you need to understand, or I think it was the Phoenix that was carrying the Dust. But, like, you're going to get baited, right? If you're looking to just trade with this guy who has definitely more net worth, right? So, meaning he does more damage, more items, all of that stuff. Like, you really can't trade with the guy one-on-one. So, I would have gotten out as fast as possible and not taken that fight. It seemed like a really bad fight. Clinks seems like doesn't understand how to Clinks. Treant just run away back in the trees. If I stand still, maybe he can't see me. Nope. The Timbersaw just countering him. He's got to actually use Overgrowth on them. Atos is going to lock the Treant into place, and he does go down. The Timber dies. Went a little bit deep. Rally Rift, and the nice Soul Rip there, and the Tombstone, perfectly placed. I mean, yeah, they can attack it, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, you're getting low. Oh, you probably should have backed up a little bit, but the Clink's just taking so much damage, and it really doesn't matter the fact that you're diving. You're going to actually buy back from the Timber. And yeah, you could buy back if you wanted to. And these zombies are just kind of making their presence known in the fountain. That Tombstone is there, right in the middle of all that, and wow, your Slark getting very, very low. Does need to be a bit careful. He's going all in for this Treant, and he doesn't actually get the Treant in the end. There was a Greaves. Just to kind of stop all of that. But that's how you extend the game. Like, there's really no reason to be diving. Like, I feel like if you weren't so far ahead, the fact that you're 16k up says otherwise. And I guess you can kind of play around with that. But, man, this Clinks, really? Go, go, go. The dive? Like, this is the thing where you're like, if you got Orchid... Why? You know what I mean? Like, it would have been way better. Now you've been dusted, you've been used up, the Requiem is being channeled. Boom! Does a lot of damage, fears you away. And that should make quick work of this Clinks, who couldn't even kill the Phoenix. The BM tip from the Phoenix, who's just going to limp on back home. It should be fine. But, man, this Clinks, like, what are you thinking? Like, this is the kind of stuff is like, you're behind. You know, why would you go Dominator? That seems like such a weird build. But I guess that's Dota, right? Like, if you're not going to itemize properly, you're not going to play the hero the way it should be. Like, did you really have a chance of killing this Phoenix? I mean, he was low, and he did get up probably one last hit, but he still had dive. Like, your positioning had to have been perfect. And there's really no way to silence it. I mean, if you had an Orchid, that's an insta-kill. But the fact that he doesn't, and it looks like you're going to just one-on-one this Roshan. And you're actually losing. Here comes the Slark. You're going to let this heal yourself. Fine. You got mech if you want to go, but yeah. Meteor Hammer. And this is good. You've kind of backed up here. and the fact that you're going to actually take the Roshan. And you do have Greaves on the way. Your damage is slowly but surely, I would say. Slark doing as much as he can, obviously, with the Basher and everything. He's got the People's Gift as well. Secondary, the Timber is there, and then you've got it. Nobody really wants the Aegis. Oh, and you've denied it. Black's like, nah, man, that just slows me down. I'm already 6-sided. All right. I mean, it seems like that's the ultimate disrespect here because I don't even need an Aegis to kill you guys. Timber's been reality rifted back, and man, the CK's been like brown boots, and he just has treads into drums, right? Rough. Not even level 10 at this point, whereas the entire enemy team, way above. The CK is completely falling off. The Requiem as well, doing a lot of work on the CK. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't need vision. I don't need dust. I don't need to do this. This is the ultimate disrespect, right? You're up 18k, and it looks like the Radiant team is kind of like, oh, Big Randy's feed shop, huh? Looks like I'm for sale because I'm just feeding here. The CK, not doing well. 10 deaths on the Clinks. 10 deaths. Okay. Clinks can't get anything going. He's still dead. He has actually bought wards because he's like, all right, I need to add value of some sort. And so this is going to be on my score sheet in the sense that I actually have some items. But yeah, I think right now is about the time he just kind of ended. We're going to kind of fast forward because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of throws because, yeah, it doesn't really matter. The Sun Ray, Nature's Grass, the eggs on the back of this, they're going to go back into the fountain. And they actually stun the Clinks. But yeah, you're just going to kind of dilly-dally, play with your food, so to speak. I don't 100% agree with this, and I feel like you should just end the game. But, you know, I guess if you just want to style on opponents and just kind of disrespect them, it's the way you do it. You dive a little bit of fountains here. You do die in the end, the Slark. And you're going to lose the SF as well. Yeah, but I don't think, you know what I mean? Like, no matter how much you throw... Well, as I say that, there's no way, right? Itemizing for the honorable mention. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you've got Greaves. It looks like you're going to go Glimmer up next. I feel that's fine. I mean, Greaves, when you've got it, is pretty sick. But it's just kind of sad when you have, like, 5 other support items and then you just have, like, Greaves. Like, I've been there as a position 5. It kind of looks bad. Atos is there. We're going to pick things up a little bit. Oh, they might get him. The BKB. Oh, okay. SF does die in the end. Not really enough. And the sun does go, the egg, excuse me, does go off in the end. And it looks like now you're going to look to retreat. You place the tombstone on the high ground. And this Darkseer not realizing which way his fountain. He goes the wrong way. And he pays for that with his life. Void Spirit is going to astral step away. TP on back. He does have Midas Radiance Yules. Not the most... conventional builds, I would say. But I guess Desperate Times calls for desperate measures. I'm not really sure. Actually, it's really poor. The Clinks gets Slark, sorry, that is, gets remnanted back. He's gonna have to ult on forward. He's just gonna go straight for that Clinks, but yeah, he needs to back up here as the ult is expiring. He's gonna back up here, the Timber. Chains. Oh, the Chakram. Oh, the heal. Not so much damage, because not many creeps around. Not many enemies, that is. He's got the Greaves, though. But this Timber don't care. Timber's just going to kind of do his thing. He plays some wards. That's fine. And through it all, you actually haven't taken the top... Like, I would have raxed it by now. Gotten Megas, right? Got the Atos on this Undying. Sorry, on the Void. But the Yule's up on the Void Spirit now, and this is going to be... Overgrowth on 1. This Timber Saw just doing a lot of work. The Meteor Hammer channeled, and it's been used. The Requiem does a lot of damage, but it hasn't really killed anyone. There we go. The CK is the first to die. The Void Spirit's looking to get away. He pulses at least the first one. The shield on up. He's getting a little bit low. Astral Step. He's going to back away. It's just the urn, and he's going to look to TP from the high ground. Yeah, all of his items are on cooldown. And the Slark here is going to look to... Yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's just speed things up. I don't think that there's really anything that the Radiant team can do at this point. Dusted one last time for the Clinks. The egg as well. Void Spirit. Another Yules. Mistimed it, but he's going to get away. The Slark does die. 70 seconds, but he does have buyback if he wants to go. I don't think he will. Oh my gosh. Clink's actually bought out all the wards, but actually didn't place any of them throughout. The BKB is now being used on the SF. He's looking to fight this CK. He's just like literally a glamorized melee creep at this point. Not really be able to do much. The Timbersaw is now here. He's going to be just kind of fountain diving. I think that this is really rough. I mean, the buyback from the Treant, but for what? He does have overgrowth up in 3 seconds. This Timbersaw just doing pitiful damage to the actual T4. Chakram back, and it looks like it's going to be a retreat now. Timber getting a little low. Does need to be a little bit careful. Oh, the heal! The overgrowth does connect, and the Timbersaw is going to die here. The Undying as well. The Yule's up on the SF. Clinks doing some damage. Oh, we get vacuumed on back. He's going to Yule's himself. Just buy a little bit more time, and pop goes the Weasel. No more souls for you. So, I guess if you want to play with your food, this is why it's bad. I think this is a one of those things where it's like, okay, hey guys, why don't we just end the game at 25 minutes of play, like queue up the next game so I can win more MMR, right? And not do these like throwy type of plays. Like, I don't know. Like, I get that this is Dota and not really everyone is focused and people just want kills, you know. But if you want kills, play like an FPS game, man. Like Dota, this is why it's like a strategy game in the sense that you have to coordinate, you have to like do things, you know what I mean? Like you have to take objectives. This is very different than like an FPS game, where I mean you do take objectives, but it's a different style, right? All right, here we go. Avoid doing a little bit farming. He's got an invis, gonna get Ags up next. The Timbersaw, aside from the fact that he has Shivas, kinda hasn't like. He's sticking around. Reality Rift, don't care. He's going to Timber Chain away. He should be fine for now. Only 8, 9, 10, 11 reactive armor. He's actually taking a decent amount of damage. This is why you, generally speaking, when you go Timbersaw, you pretty much want to go some utility and create yourself a little bit more of a tanky style, which he did not do. Slark is actually going to go solo up against this. He's going for the weakest one, which is the Feed Chop, which generally speaking is very delicious. Clinks, on the other hand, is super fast with that Surge, but he's looking to fight into the Slark, who is actually top of the net worth. The Egg is on perfect high ground. Did you drop the tombstone? You did somewhere. I don't know where it is. I can't click on it. But nonetheless, you've actually gotten that one. The Clinks as well, very easy to kill. Overgrowth, then Yule's on up for the Treant. Remnant's going to try to buy some time. Actually caught him in. Nice vacuum wall. And it's going to do a lot of damage there. The Requiem's been used, and they're going to kind of fear back, but the Void Spirit's going to use himself, try to buy a little bit of time. He's trying to get on out. He does die in the end. And the CK is now here, just going to go at least for the Phoenix. Another one. The Shivas will slow him down. Doesn't really have that. No. Trying to get kited. And the Phoenix was playing with his food a little bit. CK gets the rune, is probably going to run on back in. He does have spider legs. He hasn't really been popping that yet. Like, I feel like he needs to be using that off cooldown whenever. The Treant heals there. The Blink. The Yules and the CK, they found him. They got the, okay. And that was a dead CK. Rip. I mean, he's got Abyssal, so this Slark is kind of top of the net worth lead. Obviously, a lot of damage. 9 permanent. Permanent Agi. Very, very easy. And they should have ended this game a long time ago. Craggy armor up on the Treant, which is fine. Solar Crest. Another fighting one. But, like, the CK, he's probably going to go Halberd. The Treant, I mean, he went like the selfish like Blink into Meteor Hammer, Solar Crest. Like, you need things that save your team, right? You need like the Glimmer, the Forces. Like, how are you going to get away from this guy? Like, if you had a Glimmer right here, like you could save him. But instead, Treant's just going to die. I mean, the Greaves is there. The Vacuum's going to buy a little bit of time. But the Treant's just trying to run into the trees. Couldn't even get to the trees. He dies right in front of it. Compost for the next tree there. And Timber's actually pushed out the lane. He's like, no. I want the T4 because that's juicy. Timber chains, Shivas gets pulled on back by the CK. They're doing a decent amount of damage though. They're basically out damaging his reactive armor. The Glyph is now being used. The Meteor Hammer's been used as well, and the CK does go down. No buyback, and this is gonna be GG. The Egg is all the way in the back, but that's a deep dive. Doesn't really matter. The wall, they'll just kind of walk around that, and that should be the Ancients. 36 minutes, 38-20. 21k net worth lead. Very easy, quick game. I feel like it should have been over a long time ago. Probably a 25-minute game into a 36-minute game. But this is what happens when you want to throw and just kind of mess around and play with your food, so to speak. But I think at the end of the day, we saw the Undying. I think that this is the biggest thing, is he completely zoned it out. Gave Slark a plenty of space to do some farming. Obviously, it's one thing to do... Sorry, these are all ranked Immortals. So, my bad. But nonetheless, you kind of see exactly what TJ was doing really, really well, right? The fact that against the Darkseer, who, in my opinion, is a pretty strong offlaner, something you need to deal with, CK is actually a bit... Like, yeah, he kind of sucked. But as a position 4, CK, definitely something you do need to respect. He does a decent amount of damage. He does have stuns. He does have control. So you do need to kind of worry about how this guy plays. Mind you, I feel like as a master tier, really wasn't feeling it. Like the fact that he's only 7k as well. I mean, very little damage. Like this is a guy where you're like, if he was any other hero, like an Earthshaker, you know, any other position 4, like I feel like he would have had more of an impact than this guy had. But again, he's ranked Immortal. I'm not. This guy's also a master tier player. So again, some props to him from that. But if you like what I do, feel free to give it a like and subscribe. I appreciate any sort of support. I do this almost every single day on my Twitch. And of course, I post everything up on my YouTube. Please find me at Holler TV. My name is Holler, and I'll catch you guys next time.